But not all of the victims' families feel this way. Ethan Chapin's mom told me that her family will be attending me here tomorrow in the courthouse and that they support the plea deal. She said they are coming here in support of the plea deal. And Maddie Mogen's father told the Idaho Statesman newspaper that he supports the deal if it means avoiding a trial that would reopen old wounds. I can also confirm that Bryan Kohberger's family will be at the hearing tomorrow, although their family attorney issued the following statement. We just got this statement a little while ago. I'm going to read it to you. It says, in light of recent developments, the Kohbergers are asking members of the media for privacy, respect, and responsible judgment during this time. We will continue to allow the legal process to unfold with respect to all parties and will not release any comments or take any questions. We ask that you respect our wishes during a difficult time for all of those affected. Again, that statement just came in. Joining me here right now in Boise tonight is national reporter for the New York Times, Mike Baker. Mike, it's always nice to see you. Mike and I have sat together in many of the court hearings here. You've sort of been like my seatmate here and also in Moscow. I'm curious what you think about tomorrow. You know, we know there's going to be the plea deal, but do you think we'll hear a confession? Do you think we're going to get details about a motive and what actually happened?
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things is I think Judge Hippler actually has an option here. I was looking back at some of the more high-profile cases that resulted in a plea agreement, and one of the ones that stood out was the BTK serial killer. I mean, I was looking back through the transcript of that hearing, and it was extremely detailed. I mean, the judge in that case accepted the plea and then asked a range of questions. How did you identify your victims? Each one went one by one. What kind of methods were you using? What kind of tools were you using? Why? And that case lasted a long time. That hearing lasted a long time, got into a lot of horrific things. So I think that is an option for Judge Hippler. But as you noted, like this plea agreement doesn't require that of Bryan Kohberger, doesn't have to say anything. The Idaho rules of criminal procedure don't spell out a sort of requirement for them a defendant to have to spell out the details of what had transpired. But it'd be interesting to see if Judge Hippler takes the step of demanding some answers in this case.
I'm wondering if Judge Hippler is watching some of the statements from the families who want answers and may take that into consideration tomorrow, knowing that they're not happy, some of them, with the plea deal, and thinking, let me do this for them. Let me go a little farther and see what I can get out of Kohberger.
Yeah. I heard today from Xana Kernodle's dad, Jeff, and he really actually brought up that exact thing. He disagreed with the prosecution's decision in this case to do this plea deal. He thought, one, there was this measure of accountability that was necessary. He sort of implied a talk of deterrence, that someone who commits this kind of crime needs a level of accountability so that others won't do it. But the other thing he did bring up was he was disappointed that the plea deal didn't require something of Bryan Kohberger, of saying, here's why I did it, giving these families some answers, because they've spent these 2.5 years really in the dark as to a motive or any reasoning as to why their sons and daughters were killed.
Are you surprised? I mean, you've been on this case since the beginning. Were you surprised when you found out about the plea deal? Were you planning on there being a trial?
I mean, I was expecting a trial after the last few weeks. At the same time, I'm usually not surprised at a plea deal in a murder case. You know, it's often an off-road for the prosecution to provide certainty, right? A guarantee of life in prison versus the uncertainty of taking this thing to jury. And I just point out, in Idaho, even a state like this that generally supports the death penalty, has inmates on death row. It's been more than a decade since they've executed someone. And I was thinking back to last year. They attempted an execution here and botched it. And now that defendant, who has been on death row for 40 years, more than 40 years, 4 decades, that people in that case have been waiting for that kind of resolution to come. That kind of thing weighs on the prosecution. Is there a benefit of having the certainty? I think the wild card in this, to me, was the Goncalves family and how vocal they were about wanting the death penalty, advocating for changes in the death penalty law to provide the firing squad as an option. I mean, it must be a hard way for the prosecution to sort of weigh those different factors.
Is there any chance that the judge could say, I don't approve this plea deal? Does that ever happen?
I mean, certainly in some cases, if there is a plea agreement that seems too lenient and the judge has concerns about it, that happens. I couldn't find a murder case where someone was agreeing to plead to life in prison and have a judge say, not life in prison, we got to do more. I mean, it seems like it's a huge sentence still in the scheme of things. So I have a hard time imagining a judge stepping in that case, but this case has brought lots of surprises.
Yeah, that's a good point. My sense is, too, that the judge has probably been involved. I mean, the court date was set before it was made public. I think he was probably in the middle of these negotiations, too, and has been part of it. So this probably isn't going to come as a surprise to him. Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's always great to see you. I'll see you in court tomorrow.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.